beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Would you be my neighbor? Hey, what's up, everybody? You know I'm live and in living color. If you are in Buffalo, if you're watching on the book face, you don't know what it's like in Buffalo if you're not in Buffalo. But for those of you who are in Buffalo, it is really a nice day today. I've got the convertible out, and it's a good day for the convertible because I'm not sweating.
Yeah.
But I love heat so much that when I drive the convertible, I don't care if I'm sweating into my eye sockets.
That is the truth.
I do not care, bro. I don't care. I'm like, no, I'm out here. We only get so much sun, and I'm taking it all. So any of you complainers out there about the weather, miss me with all of that because I do not care. I do not care at all. So welcome to the show, everybody. We got a lot to unpack and talk about today. But first of all, how's your week?
Oh, my week. Oh, I just switched the cameras on. My week has been okay.
See a new thing going on.
Yeah. I do stop looking like I was no one loved me and do something and do something with it. But I'll be a little transparent. I think I was running on E for a long time, so I took a couple of days to try to put something a little back in the tank to keep pressing on a little while longer. But yeah, I had to stop looking like I wasn't loved.
You just said I had to stop looking like nobody loved me.
Yeah, I did.
And go ahead and just readjust.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to do some reels and all that kind of stuff coming up about our mental health and just the transparency. You know, Sunday I had this transparent moment of being able to really talk about, like, shucks, feeling in the dumps sometime.
Yeah.
And we just, especially church folk, you're not supposed to feel down. You're not supposed to feel depressed. You're not supposed to. And I was just like, I ain't even going to say through caution to the wind. It was just like, I don't care. I'm out here. Here's where I was. Here's where I am sometimes still.
Yep.
And I'm good. Like, I'm not going to live this, put this mask on for the masses.
Yeah.
And what I discovered, whatever people gonna feel about you, that's what they're gonna feel
Absolutely.
about you. But it's more importantly what you feel about you. And when you get to that point of what I feel about me is more important than what anybody else feels about
Absolutely.
you, there is this freedom, and there is this kind of I don't know, as you come out of dark holes, there's this kind of creativity comes back. There is this peace, and I know I'm preaching, but I usually don't do that here. But yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that.
Yeah. So it took a lot. It took a lot, and I made another decision of taking a couple weeks next month off.
What?
I'm.
I don't really remember. I mean, when I would be off, sometimes you take some days off.
A couple of days.
But weeks?
Yeah, I haven't even told my supervisor this yet.
Well, then we probably shouldn't.
I'll probably taking 2 months off next month.
Wait a minute, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I was about to say, you really
free. No, I'd come back to a totally different workplace. But yeah, I'm turning 40 next month, so I think I'm just going to go in as full as I can be.
Do you think you'll hang around here, or are you going to try to?
I'll be in and out.
Yeah, I think so. I'm the type, and by the way, today we're going to be talking about President Trump and this whole conspiracy. Well, what some people say it was staged, and so I want to talk about that. But I think that is so good. I'm not the type that likes to plan every single thing.
Absolutely not.
Because then you get disappointed. And so I forget which week I'm off. And I'd rather enjoy going like, I think I'm going to run here, especially, and it doesn't have to be any place exotic.
Right.
Here's my rule of thumb. I don't want to wake up in here the news from Buffalo.
Absolutely.
I want to hear. I don't care if I'm listening in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I'm not a real driver.
Right.
I don't like to drive, as you know. I don't like to drive long distances. So I'll take a trip and split it up.
Absolutely.
In the 3 days and be like, okay, I'm going to drive like 5 hours a day and whatever.
Yeah, and that's the interesting part, because I always said for me is like I don't have to leave the country.
Yeah.
Because I can sit in my house and shut out the world. So, but it's like when you have that sanctuary in your house to do that, then you feel like you can, and you don't always have to run and go chase to do things.
Absolutely.
When I just really need to sit, be quiet, and just refill.
Yeah, people always ask me, "Do you miss being on the council?" And I say the only thing I miss about the council is the ability to help people with a phone call. Right. Other than that, the kind of dual tracks every day, all day, I didn't realize how much stress I was under. And that the fact that whenever people saw me out, it was for a need. You know, can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do this? And the kind of peace now, and one of the reels I'm going to do, I think, later today, is don't say yes when you really mean no. Don't do that to yourself. Don't push yourself. And people I really wanted you to do this. Somebody wanted me to be on some board the other day, and I didn't even pause. I just immediately wrote back and said, unfortunately, I'm not available. And it was like, well, what about it? If we do, and nope, I'm not available. I really am enjoying this kind of space after being on council for 12 years, after being on school board, after pastoring 30 years, this space of being able to, for real, do me, like really for real, get up and go like, am I going to cook today? Or am I going to go to, wherever? And to be okay with it. Yeah. And to be able to say no and not feel guilty because I voted for you and I gave money. Well, now the only person voting for me right now is God.
Absolutely. And what's interesting is, and I know people kind of say they know, but I don't think, and I only was blessed to be a part the last 7 years, but I don't think people know the mental toll of starting downtown in committee, running to do a funeral, then having to switch the mindset back to, hey, what do we got in legislation and community development? Because we got to argue a snow plan and approve a business, and then might have a community meeting that evening or a church meeting back here, and it's like, when do you come up for air? And I don't think until you see it behind the scenes, you can appreciate it.
And I enjoyed every minute of it. Yeah. I enjoyed it, and I think you can do it if you're doing it for the right reasons.
Absolutely.
But I also knew when God said, this ain't your season right there. And I'm grateful for it. And so we got to talk more sometime about that mental health stuff, especially about men and just being able to say it and not be ashamed of it, because we drive ourselves crazy, shucks. Hey, everybody on the book, everybody. Jen says no mass. That's a good one. Mark Carolyn Lane said. Jeanette Heath says, good afternoon, part of people. Blessing. Bye-bye. All right. Marie Collins is on. So I am out to dinner the other day and get an alert and informed that the former president has been shot. So it's just like any other big news. And by the way, let me say this in all due respect. He's a human being.
Absolutely.
And I said on Sunday, especially when we didn't know, all the details, that we had to pray for the former president. And I still mean that. Politics is one thing, that's fine. But human life, regardless, should be respected. And that's the common denominator we should have, that of respect and love. So my prayers are still with him. I know he got that big Band-Aid on now, but my prayers are with him. All right. Hear about it. Get online, see it, right? So I see this movement, and then immediately I started hearing people say, he's an actor. It's all an act. And so now there are all of these theories out there that Trump is acting, all this was staged. I'm just going right off the bat so that we can all agree to disagree. And I do want to hear your opinion. I don't think it was an act. Now some people think it was an act that went wrong. I don't think it was an act because it would be a diabolical plan to sacrifice somebody else's life who ended up being killed.
Right.
So because of that, and I'm not talking about the shooter, I'm talking about the firefighter
yes.
whose name was spelled wrong on the jacket, by the way.
I did.
Did you know?
That, yeah.
The firefighter who loses his life, I just don't believe anybody would come up with a plan that would have put the former president in danger. Because if the plan was, we going to just nick in your ear, ain't no marksman, ain't nobody going to say, okay, I'm going to go with the plan.
Do that.
Just make sure y'all get my ear.
Yeah, I'll do that.
I don't believe that this was an act.
So I think, like you said, initially right off the bat, I'm like, this is stage. Right off the bat, I said this is stage. But I will say I'm saying that from the lens of someone who also just started rewatching Scandal. So So I think America now, with all of these scandals, House of Cards, The West Wing, all these shows that kind of dramatize the White House and the political game in DC, I think we're always looking now for the plot line. So it's easy to see that and go, oh yeah, that's just a plot. That's a scene out of Scandal from season 3. But I agree. By the time they said, oh, the sniper was shot in the head,
yeah,
and then the firefighter died, it's kind of hard to still say out of your mouth it's staged when you know there is the casualties that happened with the incident. So I do believe that actor, that switch in him immediately changed to let me get the photo op.
Come on, bro.
So it was
You've
immediate.
You've been shot. Blood is running down your face.
Yep.
And you still putting up the powers. Now, I'm just going to say this. This is, to me, obvious that it was a smooth move on his part.
Absolutely.
It was a smart move.
Absolutely.
But dude was on the ground.
Yep.
Asking for his shoes.
I
said, what happened to his shoes? Only thing I could think, he thought, I got to run. Let me get out of these shoes. Let me get out of these tight church shoes. Because I'm going to have to run and whatever. And maybe they're taught, I don't know. Maybe they take them. I don't know. I wonder if they take off the shoes. Y'all going to kill me for this. Come on in.
Oh, you disrespectful.
Well, come on in. Let me tell you why. You hungry too?
Man, listen. I've been fighting the same urges. Whatever's in that bag, I've been fighting these urges.
Bruh, I know better than this.
Yes,
so before everybody try to roast me online about eating, I'm not going to give them a commercial. I'm going to, it's
all over the bag.
It's written all over your face.
Nah, I'll get mine afterward.
She meet with me at 1:00, so she ain't got nothing but time right now.
Yeah, let me get a large fry and a Sprite Zero. Yeah,
we wrong for this.
Absolutely.
So I want everybody to know that what I'm doing right now, I don't recommend. I have been eating very healthy. But I was so hungry today, and I'm like, I gotta have a nugget. I gotta have a nugget. So
that's the problem when it hits you at the wrong time.
And ain't nothing like the fries. So anyway, you ain't gotta say 100 times you shouldn't. All that I already know. Mm-hmm. My body, my life. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll eat at the commercial. But it's so good.
Oh, I know it's fresh.
I hate to mix stuff, but you know what? I bought a sub from a certain sub place.
Oh boy!
Yesterday, $13.
Oh yeah, it's ridiculous,
bro. I don't know when that happened.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
$13.
Yeah, they gonna get you.
I want to know what happened to the $5 foot long.
You went to that place. Oh,
I ain't say that. Don't read into the stage that. Don't call me, but I'll get you later. So that's why I think it's very hard to imagine that it was staged.
Yeah.
Now, did you see the prophet who I guess a few months ago prophesied this.
I did see a clip. I didn't watch it, but I did see a clip, and then I saw, everyone now got the clickbait. So it was like, because it was a white prophet, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
So I missed that one, but then I just saw yesterday on YouTube how Todd Hall prophesied everything that was going on right now too, but I ain't watched that one either.
So I want to see some dates.
Right.
No, I ain't lying, man. Because this is the internet age. This is the AI. You can get on and make anything up now, and say that it was from 3 months ago.
Absolutely.
So I want to go to YouTube
and see it uploaded.
See the date that it was uploaded, because this man said. Now he said Vice President Trump is going to be. I see him being shot. I see him being shot in the ear. He lives. He said he busts his eardrum, he says.
Yeah.
And he goes on to win the presidency. I got to see some dates.
Now,
I didn't see Todd Hall's, but Todd's my guy.
Yep.
And I've seen him operate. But I want to see something, because if you saw that, you were supposed to call Secret Service.
I was gonna say, why'd you make a phone call? Hey, listen, don't go to Pennsylvania. But I will say, I felt we were on the verge
of something happening,
of an attempt, actually, because I literally said, and again, because I'm a history guy and I was watching certain things. So on Hulu, I was watching the Kennedy docuseries. So, and it was really well done. It came out last year. I didn't know that, but it was really well done. Even to the point of knowing how we campaign now is because of John F. Kennedy. What
do you mean? Tell me.
So they were the ones that he started campaigning like 2 years before the presidential election. And they said everywhere he went in the country, they would grab index cards of people he talked to. So when 1960 came, they pulled out all of the 3,000 index cards and then sent them communication. It was like no other president had done that ever before. All of his campaign dates. He was the first major presidential candidate that started going state to state during the primaries, because before that, all of the nominees just went to the convention and then did all the backroom dealings to pick the. So I was sitting there watching that one episode like. Phew.
I know you were all into it.
I was definitely all in. So then, of course, we got to the last one, which was the assassination. And I was literally like, the division in this country, we're on our way to an assassination attempt. And then a couple of days later was the incident in Pennsylvania. But I think, this country, this democratic experiment, whenever the country gets divided, this is where we get these attempts. And whether you go back to Reagan, Lincoln, and some of the other ones that actually were successful, it was when the country was most divided. And the longer we stay there, the more attempts or the more serious actions will come up.
And this guy had pictures of several people in his phone.
Yeah.
And because he had Fannie, what's her name? Fannie, Georgia.
Oh,
the DA.
Yeah.
He had her picture in there. And when he gets ready to go and do what he did, he put up on social media like my premiere, this is the beginning.
Yep.
So I think he had thought, and I don't know why you thought you could shoot at the president and you was going to leave that area.
Yeah.
I don't know why you thought that, bro.
No.
That wasn't going to happen.
No. And if you look through history, no one has ever got away that day after shooting after an attempt or the actual completion of their assignment. No one's ever gotten away from that moment. Like, they've normally caught them all within 24 hours. Even in the 1800s. So what make you think they wouldn't have found
you? When they ain't got no radios, no helicopters, none of that.
No.
And they found them.
Found them all.
Now, one of the articles I pulled up is about Secret Service and the fact that there were, all of these. The article is from The Hill, what's called The Hill, and it deals a lot with politics and all that. It says four revelations raising heat on Secret Service after Trump shooting. And I'm not going to read all of it, but it says phone calls this week between lawmakers and the heads of Secret Service and the FBI have done little to quell a growing litany of questions as to what actions law enforcers, officers did and didn't take that led to an assassination attempt on former President Trump. New admissions that the Secret Service had flagged gunman Thomas Matthew Cooks as suspicious and a possible threat more than an hour before the Saturday shooting, and that Trump was still allowed on stage has placed some intense heat on the agency. Now, I'll just say this. Mm-hmm. People get flagged. We probably flagged for all we know.
Absolutely.
Like, I was careful what I put up, like, to come watch, because I'm like, I'm going to get flagged.
Right.
Because they literally have people who just search the internet for people,
targets.
And there's certain keywords that, so yep. I was careful. I almost misspelled assassination on purpose.
Right. Just
so that like they ain't gonna be searching after that. So to flag him doesn't necessarily mean that they thought, that he was going to, shoot at the president. Almost an hour between person of interest and threat. One of the most explosive discoveries this week revealed law enforcement had identified Crooks as a person of interest at the Butler, Pennsylvania rally 62 minutes before the gunman fired several shots. Mm-hmm. So they had something that was going on. He drove 35 miles. He's driving out of some suburb.
Oh, man.
35 miles, climbed a building just outside. Now the blame is being passed because the Secret Service is saying, hey, the police, the local police, were supposed to have a car at that site. Now, if I was a local police, I'd be like, well, you dodged the bullet too.
Yeah.
Because he probably, I don't know. No, because he had to get up on that building.
Yeah.
So they're blaming the local police, but it still ultimately goes back to the Secret Service.
Right. And so I think some of the other things they had mentioned was Secret Service. It was out of the scope of Secret Service, like you said, because they said they can rule out a building like that if it's going to be locked and no one has access to it. So that's why it was deferred from Secret Service to local law enforcement, because it was supposed to be a locked building with no access to the roof. Mm-hmm. So,
but doesn't somebody from Secret Service check to make sure everybody's in position?
I thought so.
I would imagine this is so. your person to take care of.
So only experience I can go off is when President came Jefferson. Mm-hmm. So what ended up happening was Secret Service, of course, we had to all get cleared through Secret Service, but there was the chains of command was the head Secret Service guy, which was a black guy. Shout out to that, who was running that whole event.
He hollered at polling cars.
He sure did.
Polling cars went off that curb, and all polling cars was doing was picking up a can. It was a can. He said, get back on that.
He sure did.
I stood there at attention.
Scared.
I stood there like I was back in the Air Force. I was not moving.
But when they came in, but what they did do was, outside of where that originally was, they had turned it over to state police. Mm-hmm. So state police was running that next ring where we were, because it was a state police officer that told me and some other state officials, you might want to stand behind these trucks, because a quick move on the other side of these trucks is probably going to take you out.
Dang.
So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go stand behind this dump truck.
Dang.
Yeah, so it was that intense.
Yeah.
So I do know Secret Service will man the immediate area, and then they do turn over like the first rings to other law enforcement.
Well, somebody dropped the ball.
Sure, big time.
Because 10 minutes, Trump was allowed on stage 10 minutes after hunt for the shooter began. And by the way, at 12:30, after we come back from the break at 12:30, I want to hear your opinion. Do you think that the assassination attempt was staged? That's the question number one. And question number two, do you think that the current president is going to step down before the convention? Now, I want to hear your opinion after the break. Break is in 2 minutes. But so he was allowed on stage 10 minutes after the hunt for the shooter began. They started looking for the shooter.
Yeah.
They didn't find the shooter. Now, is this something that happens often? I don't know. You don't know. Okay, and the last mistake was no one placed on the roof. Local authorities said they couldn't secure the building. That's what I'm reading from the Hill.
Oh, so now the local authorities are saying they couldn't secure it.
Questions still swirl as to the reasoning behind no officers being sent to the roof of the building the gunman climbed ahead of the rally start, even after Crooks was flagged in the area. Cheetos, whoever this is, earlier this week said no agent was placed on top of the building in earlier planning because it had a sloped roof.
Oh?
Like you can't climb up a sloped roof.
Sure.
Like you can't climb up a sloped roof.
Wow.
Citing safety dangers, instead a decision was made to secure the building from inside. And local police had informed the Secret Service that it did not have the manpower to fully secure the building, including placing a patrol car outside the structure, according to District Attorney George Goldfinger, Butler County. Now, here's the wild thing. Police shot a guy outside of the Republican convention who had a knife.
Yep.
And I think they killed him. But they had that was police from other places.
Yes.
They had already heightened up security around former President Trump. Another agency couldn't come in and secure a building. You see this man walking. Did you see the video of him walking behind that fence?
Right.
And just kind of I'm like, when I went to Democratic National Convention,
you couldn't walk behind no fence.
When we were with the president at Delavan Grider, but ain't nobody walking.
No, ain't casually walking through.
You ain't walking casually.
No.
I was scared. I had to go to the bathroom. I wasn't walking. Mike, I'm telling you the truth. I was sitting there. I said, I'm like, shucks, but it was just so many people and security and all of that. I don't get. Let me ask a question. You think a black man could have been walking behind that fence?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
You think somebody with dreads could have been walking behind that fence?
They would have been shot down. They would have been Swiss cheese, no pun intended. But it would have been a disaster from Jump Street. Hallelujah.
She fast too.
Hallelujah.
You a keeper. You a keeper.
Absolutely.
You a keeper. Yeah. You going back there with some dreads, bro?
No.
It would have been over.
That'd have been your last day.
Well, you in luck. Guess what? It's 12:30.
Hallelujah.
We're gonna throw it over to the station so Mark can get him 2 bites of this food we shouldn't be eating.
Absolutely not.
We're going over to you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
When it comes to something as personal as your clothes, you need to deal with somebody you can trust. That's why so many people turn to Hobson's Dry Cleaning, conveniently located in the heart of the community at 874 East Delavan at the corner of Wyoming.
When you take your clothes to Hobson's, you can trust that they'll be ready on time.
You can trust that your whites will be white.
You can trust that you'll always get a fair price and service with a smile.
You can even trust that you won't have to get out of your car if you don't want to. Hobson's has a drive-through window for your convenience.
Trust is what it's all about at Hobson's Dry Cleaning.
Hobson's Dry Cleaning, your one-stop dry cleaners serving the community for over 30 years at 874 East Delavan at the corner of Wyoming. Call 891-8298. That's 891-8298.
Brian K. Lewis Funeral Home has 3 locations to serve you in Buffalo. 347 Peckham, 2258 Bailey Avenue, and Providence Memorial Chapel at 1275 Sycamore. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes offers traditional services, and they have services for all faiths. And at Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes, they have air-conditioned parlors and chapels. Financing is available, as is limousine service. At those difficult moments in your life, Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes is available where you are with counseling services. Call toll-free 877-885-7734. That's 877-885-7734. Or locally 845-5545. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Homes. We are here to serve you, here to serve this present age. Call today, toll-free 877-885-7734. Or email info@brianklewisfuneralhome.com.
We almost make it back after the break. Because
Yeah, I don't know. That was a struggle.
I want to learn, and I know you know how to, because you're a foodie. I want to learn how to make fries like this. I like fresh potatoes,
Yeah.
but they come out soggy when I fry them.
Do you?
No. I don't do nothing but cut them. I ain't gonna let you try to go and do you blanch them and something else you told me a long time ago.
Yes.
So the question is it, do you believe it's staged? You can call me 541-0866, area code 716-541-0866, or you can say it right on social media. We already got our first one in, and somebody liked it. Shuki says, absolutely, and in big letters, staged.
What do we think he gets out of the staged assassination?
Hand in the air, fist in the air.
Just the photo op?
I think if it was staged, and I don't believe it was staged. I think it started a movement, and in these elections, he needed a movement.
Yeah.
I mean, you listened to the speech last night.
Did you watch the full 93 minutes?
No, I could not. Do you know it's the longest speech in Republican history?
It should be the longest speech in any convention history.
Yep,
Golly.
it was the longest one. But first of all, and I know I'm all over the place with this. I'm just waiting for your responses. Do you think that it was staged? And if you do, why? Tell us. Give me a reason of why you think it was staged. When I tuned in, he was giving credit to the Hulk, and I was like, the Hulk.
Yep.
So I didn't see that the Hulk had introduced
them. Yeah.
But I'm like, the Hulk, like all of these like movies that I was so confused.
Yeah.
And so when he started talking, and I was really confused. I'm like, are you going to talk about policy? And he just went all over the place.
Yeah.
And I understand that they were trying to bring up a more subdued Trump and all that. And it'll be interesting if he's going to be subdued at his next campaign stop like he was the other night.
Absolutely not. Well, that's what they said this morning. They said he gave us the solid 28 minutes of sticking to the script, and then however else long of whatever he does. And even the Republicans strategist was on CNN this morning and said, well, he gave us the best of himself in both worlds, because he just merged the convention speech with his campaign speech. And, you just kind of got to take it for what it's worth, because and this is what they even absolutely said. I think what we have to realize is the political pundits like the first 30 minutes. The next hour was what the Republican voters want. So it was like, even at some point, he kind of must have just realized, like, hey, this speech might be flopping. This ain't me. And just turned off.
They went from a lot of applause to almost, one of the articles said, to almost like, turn it off, please.
Yeah.
Because they weren't standing anymore.
No.
They were just, now who got them standing? It was a black woman day before yesterday. I don't know who she was. She had all, she sounded like a Baptist preacher. She going in, and they stood almost the whole time.
Wow.
But his speech, they were with him because he's Trump.
Right.
But it didn't have that, this is the best speech we have heard from a presidential candidate. Chugi says he's a master marketer. Okay, he's a master marketer. And Joette Williams says the blood did not look real. I mean, I don't know what real blood looked like.
Yeah.
I believe it was real blood. The dude shot in the ear. Now, I don't know why he got that envelope on his ear. But other people, the reason it was
heard other names for it,
right? Oh yeah, I can imagine. I haven't heard any other names, but I can imagine.
Well, the most common is feminine products. That's
Right.
the most common. Yes.
Well, it was. I knew this would happen. That other people would be at the convention with their ear taped up.
Yes.
I was positive.
Absolutely.
That's the marketing move, and he. Let me show. I think I'm something to.
Oh, jeez.
Joette says the blood didn't look real. Now, I didn't see fake blood because I watched Tubi. And those homemade movies on Tubi,
they're the worst.
The blood don't look real.
They're the worst.
The man was bleeding, Joed. I believe the man was bleeding. Sugar said he needed to show himself as strong versus a fragile Biden. I love my president, and I'm standing because I the alternative. You said what? Ain't no alternative. What you mean? Is not an alternative?
There's not alternative for Biden. Is that what you're speaking of?
No, I'm saying either it's Biden or it's a guy who said that as soon as he gets into office, he's going to stop all of this green stuff. Are you like for real? I'm going to stop all of this green. That's what he said.
Sure did.
That's what that was the end for me.
Yep.
That's when I said, can't do this no more. That's when I said that. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes. Good afternoon, Bishop. This is Miss Doyle.
How are you?
I'm fine. I had a question. Usually when a high-profile person is injured or shot, the doctors always come out and give an update on that person's condition. I didn't see that this time. Maybe it happened and I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. Did anybody see it? I didn't. None of us saw it.
So that's my question. And also, if anybody's interested, I have a new essay contest on all of these questions. The first prize is $175. Second, $100, and all the rules are at the Meriwether Library now.
All right. Thank you, Queen.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Okay. She says.
They call it in.
Oh, they call it.
Where was the doctor?
They're saying, I mean, that's an interesting point because they wanted the doctors for Biden to step out and say that he wasn't feeble. And
Sure did.
There has, I'm looking it up. I'm Googling it right now. Caller, you're on the air.
Good day, gentlemen. How are you doing?
Hey, good day. Come on. How are you?
Thankful. I'm old enough that I remember the Kennedy assassination, and they never got to the bottom of that one yet, you know. So I wouldn't put anything past these people. How a side of line point could be not considered something to be significant. How this person, this 20-year-old, could know that that one option is available, and then that he can get access to do that. I think he was a sacrificial lamb. I think this whole thing happening just before the Republican convention, it's too pat for it just to be accidental. They haven't released anything about exactly what happened to his ear, how much ear he got left, how many stitches he had, what the current condition is. It's too pat. Everything is just too scripted to be just accidental. Too many things are just falling into place. What did they get out of it? All of the press that they got out of it in this last 2 weeks. That's what they got out of it. So people need to really think about that. It's not about the personalities. Mm-hmm. It's about the programs and the policies that they are implementing. So don't think that you're voting for Trump or Biden. Think about the policies that they're implementing and how those policies would affect you, your family, your children, and your children's children. Get beyond the smoke screen and look behind the scene and see what's really going on.
Thanks, Kamal. You're always great. I appreciate it.
So that's what I was actually going to say. That was kind of my thought behind the what do we think he gains from it? Because nationally, every poll, he's already well in front.
Right.
He's beyond the margin of error and everything. So he didn't need this. So that's why I'm like, what does he get out of it besides the picture? But he didn't need the picture going into the Republican National Convention or anything the last few months of the campaign. So that's where it kind of leads me like, okay, if it's not, or if it is, why?
What's the need? 541-0866, 541-0866, area code 716-541-0866. Got a few more minutes in the show. Want to know your thoughts.
And that's so sad that it seems as though people are gravitating towards Donald Trump. And I said, if you're gravitating towards Donald Trump, I'm just kind of scratching my head like, what world are we in? This man has already shown himself who he is. And just because he got shot in the ear and almost died, you know, they said he was one of the least one of the presidents who least went to church. I don't think he ever went to church. Where the other
He's
presidents,
talking about God right now.
I know.
Sure
He's
is.
like he talking about Jesus now, but you know, I don't trust what he's saying, and I think that's why people are not believing what happened, because again, you know this person, you know what he's done in the past, and so that's why it's hard for people to believe that this was not staged. Even though, as you stated, it's hard to think that you was gonna have a sacrificial lamb, that someone was gonna die for this staging. You know, like you said, it's diabolical or something like that to happen.
Yeah, I'm going back to Facebook. She said, I'm riding with Biden. The ear is highly vascular. It should have bled way more. Joette says, "Bam, sacrificial lamb." I don't see. Listen, I think he's going to use it to his benefit. Obviously, I think. I'm just being honest. I mean, you know, I'm not in my political chair today. This is the kind of commentator chair. This is media. I think Dems are in trouble. Mm-hmm. I really,
absolutely.
I really think that. I think that Dems have to make the best decision for our country, and like Kamal said, you know, not just, and we have to vote about policy and all that. Right. So if everybody feels that. Not everybody. If many people feel that Biden is too frail, then vote for him, because he probably won't be able to function, and Kamala rise to president.
Absolutely.
But at least if your ideology is what the Democrats believe in, vote. And if it's what the Republicans, because I'm sure every listener to the show is not a Dem, vote your conscience.
But I'm really honestly disappointed in the Democrats, because everybody's pulling away, and at least you should have came together and talked about this. But you got all these different factions who have already said, basically, he can't win. Well, he can't win. Who else gonna win?
But the problem is all of the folks from Congress, they're not as concerned. I mean, they're concerned about him. It's about them too. Mm-hmm, and because if the Republicans come out and vote, they're not going to vote for Trump as president and then go over and vote Democrat.
Vote B all the way.
There it is. They come in all the way. So they're going to come with all of that. You know, y'all tried to kill our president. They don't see that this guy was independent, and he looked like he wanted to kill Biden and everybody else. But y'all tried to kill. You heard even the former vice president say it basically yesterday. How we lost, you know, how the Dems lost basically. And at the end of the day, that's the biggest concern. Mm-hmm. And I need people to understand it. You can step away from Biden if you want to, but you're really not stepping away from Biden. You are stepping away from the policies that affect, especially we as African Americans. We listen, climate change is real. Mm-hmm. We're affected by it just as well, because we got all of these other things going on. If we don't control anything,
Absolutely.
If we don't control the White House, if we don't control the House of Representatives, that means, and we already don't control the Supreme Court.
That's gone.
Yeah.
That means now policies, and we don't have affirmative action. We don't have all of these things.
Yep.
Do you not think they're going to try to cut some more?
Oh, yeah.
Do you not think they're going to try to get rid of universal health care? They've already said it. And he's already talking about, I'm going to build the wall right away. You said that the last time. There is no wall built, sir. There is no wall completed. So at the end of the day, the Democrats are in trouble.
So, and I was just getting ready to follow up, because what you just said is the truth. Is that if we think we can walk away from Biden and all of a sudden magically will be the Democratic nominee will be the front runner, we're sadly mistaken, because the difference is, and somebody mentioned, I think Veronica said this was to distract from Project 2025. Here's even my thoughts with Project 2025. Like, we can all read it, we can all make it bulletin board material. They've been saying that since affirmative.
Right, this ain't new.
That ain't new. That could have been Project 1964. Like, there's no change there. The difference is the Republican Party has realized, and again, just listening to a Republican this morning, what we understood is the Republican Party hasn't been this unified in probably 20 years, because they went through their own Tea Party. They went through their own, what they got now, their little factions.
Marjorie
and all them. Matter of fact, McCarthy got hackled by somebody on the floor. But what they realize is, we just need you to go be a figurehead. We'll determine our policy.
They're gonna determine.
And that's where, like you both just said, where Democrats haven't realized. Biden, listen, we got you.
Right.
You just go be the figurehead and beat Trump. Let us determine what the nation's policy
That's
is.
it.
And then so we can get our agenda through.
That's it. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes. Hello, Pastor Bridges, Joyce Badger. How are you?
I know the voice. I'm good. How you doing?
Great show. My only question, I know my own brother-in-law, different family members served in the military, in war. They've been shot at, been shot. And he's got shot in his ear. Now, why don't he have hearing problems? Why didn't you talk about ear doctor getting a hearing aid? My brother-in-law had to wear 2 hearing aids from bullets being shot around him. That's why I don't know, Pastor Bridget.
Where you at on it? You think it was a setup? You think it was fake?
From the first phone call I got from my husband, I said it was fake. I didn't even see it on TV.
Well, I'll tell you this. On Facebook, nobody's agreeing with me. Everybody on here, my sister is saying, and I'm going to read some of the comments. So you think it's fake. Hey, they told me I got your table. Don't forget to get your table. I don't know which table.
We got to trade one out. Even with the blood, Pastor, it was only one drop. I mean, the blood didn't run.
It ran down his face.
It didn't. It stopped right at his cheeks.
No, it did not. It was all on his hand.
Towards his mouth. The blood did not go towards his mouth. It stopped at his cheeks. Nobody wiped the blood. The one stayed there. It was right there and stayed there. It didn't move.
I ain't getting no help. Thank you, baby. Love you. Talk to you soon. I ain't getting no help. The first lady ain't even help.
Well, that's why I said I think we've all watched too many shows to that construes our mindset. Like Kamal said, I don't know what the mindset was in 1963. I don't know what it was in 1984 with Reagan. I don't know what it was like at the one that happened here in Buffalo. No, I'm talking about the presidential shooting at the turn of the century. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure at no point does somebody go, man, they faked that. Like after the president was shot.
Well, Veronica Ivy says, distract people from all the talk about Project 2025. Kimberly L. Davis Hewlett says, I believe it was planned, but it's a shame that someone lost their life behind this. They plotted and planned with this guy to do this job. If he gets caught and goes to jail, if Trump becomes president, he would pardon. Trump loves attention. He's selfish and he doesn't care about anybody. Jennifer Woodward said, what about the Secret Service? They were fumbling around. And Veronica Ivy says, we give a lot of benefit of the doubt, benefit of the doubt to someone who gave none to the Central Park Five.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm loving this conversation.
But you understand why people feel that way. It's like, because maybe if it was someone else, maybe, but this guy, you know how he likes the drama and he creates drama. Well, what is this? More little drama?
Well,
because he needed to get to the polls.
Sandra King says, indeed it was. She said, indeed it was fake. Mm-hmm. The blood didn't run down his face. She's with Joyce Badger. I'm not buying it. Now, quite interestingly, I pulled up articles just now from credible news sources about what the doctor said. NBC says 3 days after shooting, Trump reveals little about his condition. Politico says Trump's medical team briefing. Now, check this out. This is from 2020. Trump's medical team briefing reveals things are worse when he had COVID. So his mother is right. So that's what normally happens when he got COVID. Remember, first they tried to hide it, and then they had to come out and give briefings. And Newsweek, absence of Donald Trump health report after shooting. The former president has released no official report on his injuries. I mean, come on. Yeah. They ain't pulled that Band-Aid off yet.
But I think he's using the Band-Aid for the staging too.
I definitely think that the doctor went to put one of them little Band-Aids on.
Oh yeah, he said, "Give me the biggest thing you got."
I need something bigger. I'm going to get it.
You can see it.
I do believe that is a part of it. Now, I don't have any proof, but I did not think about the fact until Queen Doyle said this, that there has been no medical briefing. Has he lost hearing? Does he have stitches? Nothing. So I'm with you. I'm listening. And
you know what? And someone said that when you get hit with that caliber bullet,
I was going to say, do we know what the gun was? I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because at all.
I don't think they
He's a
ever.
lone
I don't think they ever released what the bullet was.
I think they did.
It was an AK.
What type?
Yeah, it was
of
AR or something.
Well, I'm scared to put in all these searches, man. They're gonna come looking. I'm gonna get flagged. I ain't putting that in. I ain't putting it in. I'm done. I ain't saying nothing else about. I ain't saying. I'm shutting my computer down.
Yeah, that's wild.
Y'all gonna have me flagged. I go to the airport. They gonna be patting me down, pulling me in the room. Gonna lose all my benefits.
Why are you searching all that information?
Exactly.
Why?
I'm done. You see how?
Because you a radio show host. Come on now. You a radio show
Then I need
host.
to be on the church's computer. I don't need it to be connected to my Google. I should have signed in under Power to the People. That's what I should have did. I ain't playing with these people. Your stuff is coming up. University Fest.
Yes. Oh, I just want to say this real quick. 'Cause I know we got a few minutes. University United Festival, our 10th year.
Wow.
I'm so excited. I mean, to do something 10 years.
Yeah.
And we got a parade going again. We have Robin Thicke as our headliner, Music Soul Child, Silk, and it's free again. And it's not the Bishop's Festival. I just want to let y'all know.
Yeah.
'Cause every time when your picture was on it, they said the Bishop is doing that. I'm like, no, it's not.
No, it's not my festival. It never has. No. Listen, my season of being blamed for everything is over. You can kiss my foot. I do what I want to do now. Who's your sponsors?
Sponsors. Oh my God, I got so many.
Oh, okay. Well, you can't read them all. You got one big sponsor?
The title sponsor.
Douglas Jamal.
Douglas Jamal is your title sponsor. All right.
He gave us the most money in M&T.
All right. You got to give them the props.
Yep,
That's
yep,
why they give the
absolutely.
money, because they want to hear that name.
Yeah.
They want to hear that name. So you say staged?
No, I don't.
You
think
say
it's
not
staged.
staged? So the three of us, because you don't
think
believe
it's-
staged, or you kind of.
You know, it's. I'm split. Like I said, immediately I said stage, but you don't kill a firefighter if you're staging. And like I said, unless it's just complete collateral damage. And but yeah, I don't. I think maybe it. Yeah, I'm 50-50.
So I still am on not staged, but I am on going to use every bit of this.
Everything. Everything.
To get back to the White House. Going to use every bit of it to get back.
As they said, make every tragedy count.
I mean, a 20-year-old. I mean, how do you? It's just some of the things are just infallible. I mean, when you think about you sacrifice a 20-year-old boy,
Right.
for this.
Shuki says, can brief on his medical condition when there's no medical to brief.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody has said anything. The president was pierced in the ear. President's hearing has been former president. Nothing. I didn't think about that. Thank you, Queen Eva Dore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Hobson's the Dr. Dry Cleaning, 874 East Delavan. Listen, don't just listen to the show. Go and support our sponsors. Now, go take your clothes and make sure you go back and pick them up. You can take sneakers, you can take hats. Of course, what? Did you say glasses?
No, he said visors.
I gotta go get my visor from
my friend will not come out of that visor. He will not. It takes Markeith and Craig to talk about this visor. We in London, he got a visor on. We in Paris, he got a visor.
He got one on now.
He got a visor on. I didn't know they sold these joints no more. What you doing, storing them up or something?
I do.
You want that
Look
top
at
of
that
that
shot.
head to show.
Look at that. Got that fresh on camera.
Right. Wait till you
at
start
that
going bald. I bet you won't be. You gonna have that visor on, that big old bald spot gonna be in the middle.
No, he wear the cat did.
Yeah, he gonna have he gonna have that head covered up there. You just wait till it start turning gray. And Just for Men ain't Just for Men no
Oh,
more.
listen. Whew.
He said,
So
just for me.
take your visors
Take your visors. Yes. To Hobson's, the Dr.
over
Dry
to
Cleaning.
They
Hobson's.
do fitteds too.
Let me go to the next one that's not funny. Brian K. Lewis Funeral Home, in your hour of need. 347 Peckham, 2528 Bailey, 1275 Sycamore. In your hour of need, it's Brian K. Lewis Funeral Home.
Yeah, the family members got to go for that one.
Yeah.
It can't be our listeners. 'cause
Yeah.
They won't be listening anymore if they went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't know what's happening. We done got our mental health a little together. We off the chain. just off the chain.
Got this McDonald's in us.
Got that McDonald's, and I'm so heavy right now.
It's terrible.
I should have not done
You
it.
ate
But
McDonald's?
I was starving.
Oh, listen. Don't judge us.
Don't judge us. Get out of here. Do we judge your visor?
Yeah.
This dude got on green socks too. Did you see this? Do you have Carlos socks on?
Oh, wait.
These are my socks.
You buy green little.
Yes, I got colored socks.
Wait, hold on.
What you
Before
call
we
those
go-
socks? Little footies.
They're ankle socks.
Before we
You
go
got.
off.
I never seen men's green.
I got
Get down,
red,
Do
I
you
got-
see it? Can you get it? You get the shot?
Hold on.
Look, he didn't held you. All right, watch how you holding your leg up next to me that close now.
Hold on. You got to get.
Pull it back.
Hold on. Where are you at?
Where am I?
Oh, look, Mark, we way off you. Oh, there it is. He on
landed
the
with the green screen.
He in the greens. Dude, you really bought those?
Yes, sir.
And you intended to wear them?
Yes, sir. Because I had a lime shirt to go with the socks.
Bro, no judgment.
He had a lime.
Yeah.
Everybody is who they are.
Yeah.
Live out
Do your
loud.
thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Live
like
your
it?
life. You got green socks?
Oh, absolutely not.
You got some yellow ones?
No.
I mean, you got your red shirt on with the little swoosh, and then you got your ankle socks in black.
Yeah, black.
Yeah, I see
Yeah,
you. I
yeah.
see you. I see you.
All right, I'm throwing it over to the station so they can pay the bills for real until next week. Power to the people.